Hello and welcome back to another edition of WWERAW 10 right here on the Wrestle Debate. Of course, we've got all of the fallout from Royal Rumble this year. Could we find out who Edge's opponent is? Could we see Edge in action for the first time in 10 years on Raw? And could a heel turn be coming? Let's see. And Raw kicked off with Drew McIntyre in the ring, and he said he was delighted to have beat Goldberg before Edge interrupted him. Sheamus showed up out of nowhere and said that Edge was at home for a year, nursing his arm. Drew had been steering through uncharted territory. Then Edge announced his declaration to fight Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and then out of nowhere, when Sheamus was just going, he suddenly attacked Drew McIntyre for no reason. Right, but this was a fairly good start to Raw. I enjoyed it, just a bit of a weird ending. Bobby Lashley took on Riddle for the United States Championship. Lashley dropped Riddle in the mat early on before Riddle managed to dump him to the outside. Lashley caught Riddle on the apron and locked in a full Nelson while the referee counted to 5 and disqualified Lashley. The champ was furious and locked in a hurt lock and then tossed Riddle into the barricades before going backstage. Can we just have a proper match? We didn't need this. This was really pointless and it was a waste of TV time. Not just filler, basically. 5 out of 10. Then that music guy, the boring music guy, was back again. Great. Randy Orton was backstage saying he would face Edge tonight and make sure he never makes it to WrestleMania. Before we got Xavier Woods versus Ali. Kofi Kingston was at ringside along with Retribution. Mustafa Ali was in control early on before Woods took a big boot but came back to hit clothesline. T-Bar was chasing Kofi after taking down Slapjack. Ali got distracted, allowing him to be rolling up for the 3 count. Please say this feud is over now. Miz was out with Miz TV. He then said Bad Bunny, he wanted to train him to become a wrestler only if he agreed to do a music. He said no, introduced Damian Priest, and then we got into a match. Priest was dominating and hit clothesline and a splash before delivering the broken arrow. Morrison interrupted, but it didn't work because Bad Bunny took away the briefcase. Priest hit the Reckoning and picked up a debut win. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. Really good portrayal from Damian Priest on his Raw debut and hopefully more to come. Next up on Raw, the Hurt Business took on Lucha House Party for the tag titles. Benjamin was dominating in the ring before there was some distraction. Back on Raw, Alexander got on an earful after the break. Matt Elite rolled up Alexander before Dorado went up to the top rope and hit a splash on Matt Elite with a senton, but Shelton broke the pin. Shelton tagged himself in quickly and hit the paydirt on Matt Elite for a quick win. Pointless match, but it was fine, I suppose. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Next up on Raw, Asuka and Charlotte took on Lana and Naomi and Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. You can basically tell the way this match was going. Charlotte and Asuka were well in control throughout the early part of the match before Lacey Evans came out. Charlotte tagged herself out, walked down to the ring and was rolled up by Naomi to get the win. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. If Naomi and Lana didn't win, I'd give it much lower, but I'm pleased to see Naomi and Lana win. I hope both of them get good pushes coming up. But anyway, next up, it turns out Carlito's debut wasn't a just one-off, because he was teaming with Jeff Hardy here against Elias and Jackson Riker before Drew McIntyre said he was going to beat up Sheamus. Carlito and Elias started off the match. Hardy tagged in early on before Carlito was tagged back in and almost got rolled up by Elias, but he managed to hit the backstabber, then tagged in Jeff Hardy for the swanton for the win. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Really, really great to see Carlito back on Raw. Next up on Raw, Edge was backstage and said Randy Orton was going to be put in a rearview mirror as he moved on to WrestleMania. Damian Priest and Edge had a quick conversation before Alexa Bliss took on Nikki Cross. Bliss was dominating the match before Alexa started behaving a bit weirdly, but she did get back in control pretty quickly and hit her own version of Sister Abigail for the win. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was an okay match, like Alexa Bliss giving a push, but don't bury Nikki, please. And in our main event, it was Edge versus Randy Orton. Edge unloaded off Orton right off the back and was in control early on. He sent Orton outside into the barricades before Randy dropped Edge onto the announce desk. Orton hit a draping DDT when Alexa Bliss appeared, allowing Edge to hit the spear for the win. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Really, really good match. Hopefully this feud over and Edge can go on to bigger and better things at Mania. But Overall this week, Raw gets a 6 out of 10. It wasn't an absolutely dreadful episode of Raw like we've seen recently. Was it the best episode of WWE TV you're ever going to see? No. Was it the worst? No. And at the moment, I'll take that for Raw because it's just been so bad recently. But this was okay. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And following on to us, the link in the description below for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.